Tzu Prime is making his way into Rise of Kingdoms, and he's just been released on Speckoh's simulator. So it's time that we get in and see if this guy really will break the meta, or if maybe we can skip him after all. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another Rise of Kingdoms gameplay episode from your very own Shappy Gaming. If you're new to the channel, my name's Shappy. I am a sponsored Rise of Kingdoms content creator. And today, we are testing out Tzu Prime in Speckoh's simulator. Now, if you haven't used Speckoh's simulator before, I'm going to link it in the description. Go check it out. Speckoh's awesome. I did a full interview with him. There's a card on the top right side of your screen where you could learn all about him. Now, without further ado, we need to get into this simulator testing and figure out if Tzu Prime is a beast. Now, first, let's start with kind of the setup that I'm running right now. So we have Tzu Prime here. We have base equipment set with Horn enabled. I will swap Horn on and off, but what I have noticed, I've done some tests on my own here. What I have noticed is the Horn makes a huge difference for Tzu, which doesn't really surprise me at all, considering that he has a lower rage requirement than most other commanders. So overall, this is the setup. I have France set up for Tzu. I can change France to Byzantium if we're running cavalry on this side. Doesn't really make that much difference. But my goal here is we're going to start with a baseline march. We can just use Bai Chi with Lu Che. That's a pretty good baseline for infantry to see if it can beat Ho Chi Bing Arthur. I like Ho Chi Bing Arthur as a testing pair. They're really good when we talk about just straight skill damage. I'm using pincer formation, but I'm not using any of the legendary armaments. That's typically what I do because I want to minimize variance as much as I possibly can. But with these commanders, there is a fair bit of variance anyways, so just keep that in mind. And again, same thing on this side. We have wedge because we're using Ho Chi Bing here. If you want me to test this with someone else, let me know in the comment section below, or you can test it yourself. But this is my setup. Now, one of the things that's really important, make sure you have the Season of Conquest bonus set up here, because that makes a huge difference in terms of the testing results. So that's what we have. Let's run it real quick and see how this goes. I would expect that Bai Chi Lu Che might win, but it should be pretty close here. So there we go. They won 25-20 there. So that's a pretty good trade. We'll run it 2 more times just to make sure we have a good baseline and we can average that out. There we go. 26-19. Just about 20 there too. And there we go, 25-21. So this is our march to beat. Can we beat Bai Chi with Lu Che? Now, bearing in mind, Bai Chi with Lu Che are also double AoE commanders, so the fact that they win this duel is spectacular anyways. But that is what we're going to see if we can beat with Tzu in the lineup. Now, we should test out Tzu with a couple different setups here, because maybe we want him primary. Maybe we want him with a different talent tree. This is the talent tree that we're running right this minute. We're going to go through and we'll see exactly what we can do to min-max him. But first I want to see, can we beat that testing with a new commander? So let's first test out Tzu with Lu Che. That was my main bet. I thought this was going to be the pair that you're going to run. Let's find out. So far, we've done better than Bai Chi Lu Che. So if we're looking at a bare minimum update, that is going to be a better setup there. Let's run this again. See how much variation is coming into play here. 20-25, that's about the same. We'll run it once more. Yeah. So I think we can comfortably say that Tzu Prime with Lu Che is going to work. Now, I personally like this setup because I like having an AoE commander with Tzu Prime. He really needs one because, again, he's only going to have that true damage that's going to hit 2 targets. So we want that. Tzu Prime should, in theory, be a really good dueling commander because of his massive primary skill damage factor. But we're just going to have to keep testing and see who the best pair for him is. So far, though, I mean, 27-16 is pretty spectacular. So let's see if he's any better when we throw in Bai Chi. So here we are. Tzu with Bai Chi. That was even better. Holy cow, 28-14. That's a great pair right there. Let's run it again. And you may be wondering, Shappy, why are you running it 3 times? There's going to be variation here, and so I want to make sure that I'm capturing that as best as possible. 28 to 16. And 27 to 17. That's even better than the Luce trades. Okay, so now let's see what happens if we swap this around and we run Bai Chi as primary with Sun Tzu as secondary. That's something I am very curious about. And don't worry, we'll get to William Wallace, I promise. There we go. And let's run it. That's just about as well. 27 to 17. It looks like they actually took more severely wounded that time around. Let's run it. That one did not do as well. Yeah, 25 to 20. Let's run it one more time. I think Sun Tzu should really be primary, personally. Yeah, 27 to 17. I think Sun Tzu should be primary. I think that's my takeaway from that particular testing, and we can continue to run him. Now, one thing I've seen people say, Sun Tzu with William Wallace. I don't like this pair. I don't. It's double single target. It's infantry. You're not giving any bonus to anything else. I'm not that big of a fan, but if you have William Wallace Max, this might be something you want to consider. So let's run it. And that did pretty well. Ooh, 19? Not great. Run it once more. That one was good. 16. That's pretty good. 27 to 16. This one looks less good. And 25 to 20. So far, Bai Chi is her best pair by far. William Wallace and Luce seem like it could be kind of a wash in terms of which is going to be better, which could be a good thing for people because it means that you may be able to keep Bai Chi with Luce. Let's run a couple more of these just to confirm. Oh, yeah, that was the best that we've gotten so far. I think that Bai Chi and Luce are going to be the two best pairs. Oh my God. 14 there. Let's run it once more. Yeah, I think Bai Chi and Luce are easily the two best options right off the bat. So there are some other commanders that we should test, though. One of them that I've heard people say is Alex. Well, if you can pair him with Alex, then again, you can keep Bai Chi with Luce, which is a great pair, and I understand why people want to do it. But is it going to be able to beat our duelers? Looks like it will not. So that pair is not going to work out. But one that might work out, and that I was really hoping for, was Philip, right? Because I have Philip in my lineup. He's a buffer. He's going to give me some instant proc damage, and his expertise is going to trigger a second active skill. Maybe this will work. That didn't cut it either. That was slightly better than Alex, but not much. Let's run it once more just to be sure. Sun Tzu, you breaking my heart here, man. Yeah, that is not going to work, guys. So I know there were a lot of people saying, hey, maybe Philip is the pair. I don't think so. Now, what is interesting is I've run a couple tests here with Hector. Check this out. A little bit better than Philip and Alex. Not much, but a little bit. And in some of my tests, I think Hector actually won. So let's see. Let's see if we can get that to happen here. Looks unlikely, but it's close. But it looks like if you are going to be trying to pair a buffer, it's going to be Hector over Philip. It's unlikely. Yeah, see, we got a win there. Very, very close and inconsistent, though. I probably high rolled some skills. So Hector, maybe, but most likely you're going to be better with one of our typical smite commanders. Let's throw Gorgo in just for fun. Gorgo's active skill, she's going to deal some smite damage, and she's going to deal more normal attack and counterattack damage, take less skill damage, and overall just be kind of a beast. But her third skill, not going to be useful. So let's start with this. And then worst case, we can swap her out. Gorgo won. No way. Okay. That's surprising. Is Gorgo going to win again? No, Gorgo's going to lose this time. It's all about that variability. So we lost that time. Let's run it once more. And Gorgo lost again. Okay, let's try with Gorgo primary, just for fun. And see. Yeah, we got defense tree. Let's start this. No. Okay, so Gorgo, not a good pair. So it looks like our pairs are primarily going to be Luce or Bai Qi, which is a challenge. Because if it's Luce or Bai Qi, then we have to find a better pair for the alternative. I kind of want it to be Bai Qi, because if I pair Sun Tzu with Bai Qi, then I can put Luce with Philip, which is a great pair. I mean, I can test that right now just for you guys so you can see. Luce with Philip should win this duel. We'll see. Maybe not. Maybe Philip is just terrible in the simulator. So Luce with Philip, probably not. We could do Luce with Alex. That's another one that we see people run all the time. Or we could just do William Wallace with Luce, which I ran and had great results with. And personally, I think I'd rather have William Wallace with Luce and Bai Qi with Sun Tzu, because that gives me that double infantry AoE, which I really like. But that then means that I'm benching Philip from my lineup, which I'm personally not the biggest fan of. Now, I know some people are going to say, well, Shappy, what about Ivar? We got Ivar in here. Let's run him. Yeah, that is not going to work. So we got Sun Tzu with Luce, and we have Sun Tzu with Bai Qi. So now let's set everything up as we would in the real world. Let's give Hunter, Balanced, Intrepid, Unstoppable. There we go. And then we can do the same thing over here. Toppler, Airtight, Thundering, Demolisher. This is your whale setup right here. And we're going to do a ring. Start battle. So lots of variation here, but Sun Tzu Prime and Luce wins pretty comfortably. Let's run it once more. We win again, 19. And we win again, 16. So let's reset this now and throw Bai Qi there, because what we're trying to figure out now is who is actually going to be the one that we're going to pair. That did pretty well too, 19. Oh, that did really well. 14. And yeah, that's the pair. That's it, guys. Sun Tzu Prime with Bai Qi is definitely going to be the pair that I think you're going to want to run. And that's fine. I mean, that makes sense because the malice skill is going to make a difference, because the rage speed bonus is going to help out Sun Tzu. You pair that with a horn. Yeah, that's a good setup right there. So that's what I'm betting the pair is going to be, and that means you're going to have to find another pair for your Luce. Personally, I've ran William Wallace with Luce before. It traded really well. You can check my KVK history on the top right side of your screen now, but that's a pair that I've run. If you've enjoyed this testing, be sure to drop a like on the video. If you want me to do more of this, maybe do a stream, let me know in the comment section below. And again, you can get this simulator yourself and test it out. Thank you all. If you haven't already, do hit that subscribe button right over there, bottom right-hand corner, and hit the bell so you get notified when new episodes come out. Thank you all. Shappy out.